Hi, everyone. I'm Norma Loeb, founder of the Lewy Body Dementia Resource Center. This video series has been created to bring awareness through firsthand experience of people living with Lewy body dementia, their caregivers, and through expert physicians. This crucial information will be shared with healthcare professionals, with families, and the general public to heighten awareness and to enable correct diagnosis. Please know we are here to help you every single day on our live helpline. I thank you for watching.
I noticed this and I was having trouble doing things that were normally easy, shall we say. In other words, I can remember walking many times into the utility room to go to the bathroom instead of the bathroom. And I've lived there many years, so I know where the bathroom is. I was having trouble remembering. I had a short-term memory, and I still have that to this day. Short-term, long-term, I still remember everybody. I have recognition of my brother, life, and everything. But I can walk from I have a little study where I stay a lot. I can walk from there to go into the kitchen, which is 10 steps. And by the time I get to the kitchen, I've forgotten while I'm in the kitchen.
So one of the symptoms that we often see in dementia with Lewy bodies is cognitive dysfunction. And that can vary from short-term memory issues, long-term memory issues, planning, math, following commands. And so that's an early symptom that we see in dementia with Lewy bodies. And it's sometimes can be very complex and difficult to manage. Really, the best way that I found to help that is with a very good speech therapist, because they actually can do cognitive rehab and they can kind of figure out where the deficits are and try to work through them. Because there's no real magic pill for the cognitive aspect of dementia with Lewy bodies. And so along with working with a neuropsychologist to kind of determine where the problems are, the speech therapist and good cognitive rehab can really help. And they'll give families a lot of tips and tricks when things get difficult. And they'll also try to improve the things that are potentially able to be improved.
There was no way I could balance a checkbook or do any of, I just lost all that capacity. And luckily, that is Jerry's strength. So he's really strong on numbers and all of that stuff. But I got worse at that. And then sort of, because at that point we were still living in a condo on our own. But what I started noticing is I went to the certain grocery stores that I knew exactly how to get there, and I didn't have to deviate from that. But if, let's say, we went to a new doctor for Jerry for some reason, I'd get this really high anxiety. It would be like I have to do a trial run so I know how to get there and make sure we get there on time. And Jerry would be like, oh no, it'll be fine. Just, you just follow your GPS and it'll be all right. And I'd be like, no, you don't understand. I'm just really anxious about this.
Several years ago, we started painting, and he is been pretty active in that recently, especially since we moved here. But he's losing some of his ability to paint the way he used to. I don't know whether that's part of Lewy body or what, but when we lived at the other place, there were several people in the art room with him, and they would talk and offer criticism to each other and everything. Whereas now he's pretty much in the art room by himself. And maybe that's a reason, but his art isn't nearly as good as it used to be.
I cannot read a clock. Some things I can't remember. I try. I went to put a dish towel up somewhere, and I ended up throwing it in the the dishwasher instead of the washing machine. So, and sometimes I just kind of go in circles because can't remember what I'm supposed to be doing. When I can't find something, or I'm in the kitchen or whatever room and can't remember what I was going to do, I get easily what do you call it?
Sidetrack.
I get sidetracked, yeah. So, and I can't remember what I was gonna do. So that's, like I said, frustrating.
He was a school teacher, so, in the West Indies, an English teacher on top of that. So he was very good at reading and writing, and stuff like that. And as time goes by now, he looks at things and he would look at it for a long, long time, staring at the same thing. And I know that he's just not understanding. He's trying to read, but nothing. There is nothing. I have to take care of all the bills. I have to take care of everything. Even the taxes that I was never used to doing, I have to do all of that.
The thinking in Lewy body is a little bit different than in some other kinds of dementia, some other kinds of brain illness. So the most common kind of dementia is this thing that's called Alzheimer's disease. And there are many flavors of Alzheimer's disease, but usually it's people who are unable to make new memories, as opposed to Lewy body, where the most common thing is slowed thinking, slowed processing. So if you give someone a little bit more time, you give someone a hint, a cue, a reminder, a calendar, they're often able to get that memory out or get that thing out. Maybe not 100%, maybe not right away, but usually the memory is in there. And that's one of the features that helps distinguish, not perfectly, but helps distinguish a disease like an Alzheimer's disease from a disease like Lewy body.
Dina was in one corner of the living room in the shadows by herself. Unlike her, she's normally up and bouncing about, and I went over and I took her hand and said, "What's happening? What's going on?" Not really any reply. She was deep in something. I had to dig that out. I said, just give me one word to tell me something about what's going on. And she looked up at me and this kind of lost feeling that I'd never seen before. And she said, "I'm not good for anything anymore." That was my lesson. That was my lesson. She was teaching me what I needed to know. And I realized that my job from then on was going to be about showing her about her worth and how she was valuable.